Good evening and welcome back to Planning for Beginners. It's beautiful out here on my deck. When I went to work this morning, it was dark and cloudy, and I thought it was going to storm all day, but it was just overcast, and I'm just enjoying it out here, even if it is still overcast. I'm Karen Nichols, and I have been on a very many years journey to tranquility. I'm taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, but I'm getting closer and closer every day. And I would love for you to go on this journey with me. If you remember last week, your homework was to find a notebook, any notebook. If you couldn't find a notebook, you were to get 4 or 5 pieces of paper and staple them together, make your own notebook. And you were to write down everything that was swirling around in your brain. I got to do this. I need to do that. I got to go here. I got to do that. I got to go there. I got to be here. Everything that was swirling around, you were to write it down. No matter how big, I've got a 3-month project coming up at work. How am I going to fit it all in? I've got to remember to brush my teeth before I go to bed tonight. Everything is supposed to be on that list. Now, if you did not write that list before you came back here, I want you to put the video on pause and I want you to write your list. Now, why did we write this list, you ask? We did that to declutter our mind, and some people call that a brain dump. If you're a mama of boys, you probably will not want to call it that. So you take your choice. We did it to clear our mind. We wanted to put all of those swirling thoughts on paper, and we did that to empty our brain. When we empty our brain, it makes room to be able to think and plan what to do next. There's no longer any worries that something will fall through the cracks or be forgotten or get left behind. Excuse me. During the day, when you start working on your things that you need to do, and something starts nagging at your mind, popping in your mind, I need to do this. Stop, take out your notebook, write it on the list, and go on with the task at hand. Unless it's something that needs to be done right that minute, like, you're 15 minutes late for picking your child up from school, or you should have left 10 minutes ago for your doctor's appointment. If it's not one of those things, write it on the list and keep on with the task at hand. Our goal is to keep our minds decluttered of all the things we have to do so we can concentrate on the thing that we're doing at the moment. Now, I just want to give you a few tips for a weekly mind declutter, because you're going to want to do this at least once a week. Some people do it once a day. I usually do it once a week, and then if my list starts getting too jumbled and I can't tell what's what, I'll just start over on a new page and just make sure the important stuff is carried forward, and then start again with my brain dump and just everything that I can think of that I need to do. Just write it down and start over with a new one. You need to have a dedicated place to write this down. That's why I had you grab a notebook, grab a journal, make your own. You need to have one dedicated place that you write it down. You can't scribble it on an envelope or the back of your deposit slip. It's not going to work. That's going to get lost somewhere. It's going to blow away in the wind. Now, if you want to leave it at home, because that is where you mostly work with it, and then you go to your day job, if you want to have sticky notes that you can write it on until you get home, but then every day you need to have a dedicated time that you make sure every one of those sticky notes It's on that Declutter Your Mind journal. You also want to have it handy to add to as needed. But like I said, if it's for some reason you can't, and then you have to or need to leave it at home because of your job or because of the nature of what you're doing, you still need to have that mini pad or something in your pocket that you can grab it out, write it down, and free your mind up to concentrate on the task at hand. You're going to schedule a time. Get out that monthly calendar and schedule a time once a week to do this. Whether you think you have anything in there to declutter or not, you schedule a time, you sit down, you pull out the journal, and you just start, anything that pops in your mind, you write it on it, because it needs to be out of your mind so you can concentrate on your task at hand tomorrow. Now, I'm going to tell you how to do this coming week. That's going to be your homework. I'm going to tell you how to do all of this, and your homework is going to be do it. Getting started. Write down everything that pops into your mind. Don't judge. Don't stop and reflect. Don't think about it. Just keep writing. Write down everything that pops in your mind, even if you think it's not a to-do. If it's popping in your mind, write it down, because we want to free up that space. Keep writing until your mind quits churning. That's right, keep writing till things quit swirling around in there. Then take a deep breath and look at your monthly calendar. And it's a good chance that your mind's going to start swirling again. And when it does, you start writing it all down again. And you write and you write and you write until your mind stops swirling. You will want to add to this list throughout the week as needed. This is not a write the list, get it done, throw it away. This is an ongoing list. It is a process. Now, after you have finished your list, you'll probably want to take a break, get a drink of water, take a deep breath. Then I want you to come back, or you can sit down a few minutes, because we're going to review and reflect on what we've written down. I want you to make a list with 3 sections. It can be on the side of this page. It can be on its own page. But it needs to have 3 sections. Top 3, easy 3, and next. Read over your list and add due dates beside them if it's needed. Note what needs to be done this week. What are the top 3 projects on this list that need to be done this week? Put them under that section, top 3. Read over your list again. What are 3 easy projects that you can knock out? Bam, bam, bam. And preferably the ones that are due the soonest or need to be done quickest. Write them under easy 3. And then read the list a third time. And what is standing out to you that may start your mind swirling again? Put those next 3 on your next list. The rest of the things, just leave in that original brain dump. And as you get things done on these lists to the side, then these can be moved over as needed or not. It may just be that they don't get done because maybe they don't really need to get done. But they were so busy swirling in your mind, and you could easily knock them out, that you were taking up valuable time away from your top 3 to do these things that don't even matter. They can get done next week or maybe even the week after. Now, your homework, dump all your thoughts into your notebook, review and reflect. For our next video, we're going to address why do we procrastinate on some of these projects. If there's some that you are dreading or you can't get a good grip on, put a star beside them or highlight them or something, so you can be thinking about them when we have that discussion. Full disclosure, I am a Tula 12 independent brand ambassador. When I do these videos, many times I will use their products. That is because I love their products. They were helpful to me. They got me started on this planning part of my journey. You can do this without ever buying any of their products that I show you. Or if you decide that you want to at some point, that is fine too. You need to craft these planning sessions to meet your personality, to meet your needs. I hope, excuse me, it has been a long day, and I apologize that this was kind of scattered and everywhere. But if you're watching these, then you probably understand exactly where I'm coming from, don't you? I'm wishing you a peaceful evening, and we'll be back next week for the second half of Declutter Your Mind in Planning for Beginners. Have a beautiful week.